Hey, folks, welcome back to the No BS Real Estate Podcast. I'm Jarrett Chambers here in Anchorage, Alaska. I am a licensee and brokerage owner here of Chambers Real Estate Services. Today is about a week since 9/11. We were going to put this out last week, but then the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we just took some time to reflect. 24 years from 9/11, so almost a quarter century from that fateful day, which led me on a path to join the Marines and live that life for the next 10 years of my life. And now I'm thankfully doing this over here. But it shaped my way of thinking. Certainly, when they dropped us off about 3 weeks after 9/11, and we flew into Quantico, Virginia to go to boot camp, Marine Corps OCS, they drove us by the Pentagon, and we got to see the hole in it. And it really solidified to me what we were doing. And that path really shaped my way of looking at brotherhood and a commitment to service. And, we never really fully arrive, but we have those ideals that we live towards. And moments like this, whether reflecting on 9/11 or the death of Charlie Kirk, can help us to also remind ourselves that we can be better people. So with that, and with Charlie Kirk, we lost somebody that was quite important to the public discourse and the way we're shaping our society today. He was a bit of a giant. I mean, physically in stature, but also with the presence that he brought as a young man. And I got to listen to him speak maybe 3 years ago at my old church in San Diego. And what we saw was somebody who had its earnest belief in the goodness and the ideals of America, but also in professing his faith in Christ as he came to our church. And he was a motivator. And of all the people that came, I really remembered him the most because of something that he said about taking time to be with God and your family during the Sabbath, and taking that time off to turn the phone off and unplug and just be a human being. I feel like we oftentimes become human doings rather than human beings, and that's not what we're made to be. It was just a shame. It was a travesty that the world today now is we're in our little camps online typically, and that we ferment those echo chambers of disagreement so much that somebody might, who is somebody unhinged, can take that to the next level and injure or kill another human being. So with that, maybe we can remember to be better people, and hopefully that this death does something different, and that the world can change a little bit by seeing that maybe this isn't the right path. To get on to business today, so the current CPI figures and employment are out. We're out about a week ago, and what we're seeing is that the inflation is about 2.9%. So that means prices are up, but they're not spiking like they did before. And then if you're looking at the Anchorage home value chart here below, you're going to see that the estimated forecasted rise for home values is going to go up about 6%. That's what expected by July of next year. So it's outpacing inflation. So if you're looking at the 2.5% to 3% inflation, home values are increasing by 6%. So if you're a homeowner, you're ahead. Employment jobs are holding steady nationwide, and here in Alaska, that's keeping our demand alive. Unemployment is historically pretty low, which means that we're not seeing a flood of distressed sales or panic selling. So if you're waiting for a crash, it's probably not going to happen because the job market is buoying those home values. As far as Anchorage is concerned, let's just drill into these numbers, because what's happening in Anchorage is what matters most to you. Home value growth is forecasted to rise about 6%, like I said. And for this chart, we're also seeing that inventory is a little bit low. We're about 500 homes on the market as opposed to about 13 to 1,500 on average. So that's something to be aware of, because there's not enough. So it's buoying the prices, but we're also starting to see price reductions. So there's about 27% of homes have now experienced a price reduction this last month. Now we're at the end of the season, so yes, it spikes. You don't see price reductions early in the season once the snow melts in April, but what you do see is that towards the end of the season in the fall, that's when it starts to occur. But this year is a little higher than most. So what that means is if you're a buyer, it's just being, you can negotiate, and if you're a seller, it's being a little more realistic. But we're also seeing that about the 500,000 and below range, most of the time, those houses are going to sell at or above asking price. It's really depending on what the price point is. So if you're above 500,000 and you're a homeowner, you might have to sit for just a little while. Um, the other thing that's interesting is that rent versus buy differential. So we're still close to about $3,000 mortgage payment and about $2,000 a month in rent payments. So you have got this gap. Um, so if you can afford it, it's good to buy because you can lock in your appreciation on the home because you're building your wealth immediately and not putting it into your landlord's pocket. But at the same time, if you can't afford it, it's not for you. You need to wait for a better time. But the nice thing about it is you're paying, not just paying for a roof over your head, you're building wealth. So renting might look cheaper, but if you're building, but you're once again building someone's wealth. So if you can swing it, go ahead and do it. Or if you plan to stay put, stay put. Now, the other thing is that right now the Federal Reserve is meeting today, and I just got the news that there was a quarter point reduction in the Federal Reserve funds rate. So what is that going to mean? It means current mortgage rates, which are sitting right around 6.5%, are going to go down a little bit. How much that filters through, that's to be determined. But a quarter point usually translates to about a quarter point in the mortgage reduction. We're also expecting to see two more rate reductions from the FOMC, Federal Reserve, this year, because there's two more meetings before the end of the year. So we'll probably see another half point or so, which means mortgage rates will continue to come down. So if you're in the market to buy, that's good for you. And if you're selling, that's also good for you because there's going to be more demand than once again for your houses that you're putting on the market. So, I mean, for closing thoughts, just stay tuned to see what happens. Do the things that are right for you and your family at this point in time. If you're in the market to sell, there's good news. And if you're in the market to buy, there's good news. But at the same time, stay tuned and just stay informed. And if you need any information from us, you can always reach out to us, chambersrealestate.net, or call us at 907-565-5665. And if this information has been valuable to you or you find it educative, go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, and share it with somebody who could use this information. Thanks so much. Stay safe out there. God bless.